Hi friends, welcome back to my channel Absolute Biopharma. I am your host Pallavi. On this channel you will find everything related to the biopharma world like the technical content, interviews, job openings and various trainings. So if you are new to this channel then don't forget to subscribe my channel and hit the bell notification so that whenever I will produce a new video you will get notified. So today's topic is amino acids, the building blocks of proteins. So without any further ado, let's get started. So in this video, I am going to cover what are amino acids, the types of amino acids, the structure of amino acids, and finally the Lambert-Beer law. So let's begin the video. Let's start with what are amino acids. Amino acids are the monomer units of protein. So the basic structure of the amino acid is, if you see in the figure, it has alpha carbon in the center, it has a carboxyl group, it has an amine group, then it has alpha hydrogen and it has R group. So let us understand alpha amino acids as Zwitter ions. As all the amino acids are having alpha carbon, so they are called alpha amino acids. So to understand the Zwitter ion, let us see the definition. What is a Zwitter ion? Zwitter ion is a molecule that is having a positive and a negative charge on the same molecule. So if you see here in the figure, it is an amino acid. So in this amino acid, there is amine group, there is carboxyl group, hydrogen group and R group. So if it gets converted into Zwitter ion, then it will lose one hydrogen and it will gain one hydrogen. So in this form, this amino acid will be in Zwitter ion form. So here it has lost one hydrogen and here it has gained one hydrogen. So in the last figure, it was seen that the carboxylic acid has lost one hydrogen atom and it got converted into carboxyl group. So amine group has gained one hydrogen atom and it has converted into amino group. So one of the example of Zwitter ions as amino acids is L-lysine. So now let us see the types and structures of amino acids. So basically there are 20 different amino acids. They are categorized according to the structure, size and on the basis of the electric charge. So if we see the categories, they are divided into non-polar amino acids and polar amino acids. So in non-polar amino acids, they have hydrophobic R group and there are some special cases. And if you see in the polar amino acids, it has uncharged R group, then the positive R group and then the negative R group. So all the division of the amino acids is on the basis of the R group. So amino acids are represented in various abbreviations, that is 3-letter abbreviation and 1-letter abbreviation. So let us see the examples of the hydrophobic side chains. So in hydrophobic R chain, you will find phenylalanine, tyrosine, tryptophan, alanine, valine, leucine, isoleucine and methionine. So the 3-letter abbreviation is PHE, TYR, TRP, alanine, ALA, valine, VAL, leucine, LEU, isoleucine, ILE, methionine, MET. So these are the single letter abbreviations that I have mentioned here. And in the side figures, you can see the structure of various amino acids with hydrophobic R chain. So for alanine, this is the side chain. For valine, here it is isoleucine, leucine, methionine, phenylalanine and so on. So here you can see the various R groups that are attached to the amino acid. So these side chains make them hydrophobic in nature. So next example comes polar uncharged. Means they are polar in nature but they don't have any charge on them. The amino acids that come under this category are serine, threonine, asparagine and glutamine. Here is the 3-letter abbreviation. This is the single letter abbreviation. And here are the structures of the respective amino acids. Next come the polar charged side chains. They are categorized into positive and negative. In positive, they are lysine, histidine and arginine. In negative, they are aspartate and glutamate. Here are the 3-letter abbreviation. These are the single letter abbreviations. these three, arginine, histidine, lysine, these are positively charged amino acids, and here aspartic acid, glutamic acid, these are negatively charged amino acids. So there are some special cases. They are cysteine, glycine and proline. So what is special about cysteine and proline? Here cysteine has a thiol functional group which confirm very strong disulfide linkages that influence and stabilize the protein shape. Proline side chain is linked to the amine so that it forces a kink in the protein backbone wherever it's present. So that's why these are special cases in amino acids. So let us understand the Lambert-Beer law. What is Lambert-Beer law? It is the attenuation of light through a substance and properties of that substance. So if you see in simple words, the attenuation means the reduction of amplitude of signal or other oscillations. So to understand this law, first one must know what are transmittance and absorbance. So here the transmittance is the ratio of transmitted intensity to the incident intensity. So here the transmittance is commonly expressed in the form of percentage. Next comes the absorbance. Absorbance A of a solution is related to the transmittance and incident and transmitted intensities through the following relationship. So here it is depicted by log of 10 to the transmittance. As we have seen in the previous slide, the I naught over I is transmittance. We can say that the absorbance is the minus logarithm of transmittance. So the absorbance has a logarithmic relationship to the transmittance. With an absorbance of 0, the transmittance is 100%, and with the absorbance of 5, the transmittance is 0.001%. As the absorbance is a dimensionless quantity, it is unitless. If we sum up the Lambert-Beer law, it is the linear relationship between the absorbance and the concentration, the molar absorption coefficient and the optical path length of a solution. So here is the equation. So absorbance, which is unitless, that is directly proportional or equal to the molar absorption coefficient, the molar concentration of the solution and the optical path length. And the units with which they are denoted, the epsilon is denoted by per molar per centimeter, molar concentration is in capital M and the optical path length is denoted in centimeters. Let us see some of the applications of Beer-Lambert law. The Beer-Lambert law has application in analytical chemistry. Here it concentrates on the separation, quantification and identification of matter by spectrophotometry. In atmosphere, the solar or the stellar radiation in atmosphere can be described using this law. It has another application in the field of physics, chemistry, biology, meteorology. So the Lambert-Beer law also has application in measuring the concentration of chemical solution to analyze the oxidation, to measure the polymer degradation. Another application that is very important in our industry is in drug analysis. So if we are having a drug or a tablet whose concentration is not known, then through EM spectroscopy we can qualitatively and quantitatively detect the concentration of the given drug or given tablet. Another few applications are, as in previous slide I have mentioned, it is also used for qualitative and quantitative analysis of biologic material that contain organic and inorganic material. So for biological drug and for a pharma drug, both we can use the spectrophotometry that follows the Beer-Lambert law. Then the last application is to determine the concentration of various substances in cell structure by measuring the absorbance of the spectra in the cell. This application you can usually find while measuring the glucose and lactate concentration in the solution or in the given cell culture solution. So this is an additional slide that I would like to share with you guys to show the absorption spectra of a biomolecule. So the DNA and RNA, if you see, they have the absorption spectra at 260 nanometer, and protein, they have the absorption spectra at 280 nanometer. So whenever sample is having a protein in its solution, then it will be get absorbed at 280 nanometer. That means the peak, this peak will come at 280 nanometer, and if the solution has the DNA or RNA in its sample, then the peak will be shown at 260 nanometer. this video I have covered what are amino acids, what are the type of amino acids, structure of amino acids and Lambert-Beer law. In my next video I am going to cover what are proteins and peptides and their structure. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked and got some information from this video. If you have any other thoughts or any other ideas, you can post in the comment section so that I can implement those ideas in my next videos. Don't forget to subscribe my channel if you are new to this channel. Thank you and have a great day.